2 years ago, I posted this short where I showcased a super small amethyst farm in Minecraft. But recently, I've been receiving some comments about how bad this farm is. So today, I will be replying to these comments and making a better amethyst farm. First, let's take a look at this comment from GamingT9994. It says, the block that the amethyst is growing on is called budding amethyst, which is true. This block is called the budding amethyst. It cannot be obtained in survival through silk touch, it cannot be moved by pistons, and there is no way for the player to obtain it, which is also true. It cannot be obtained in survival mode without bugs. Now, I'm guessing that they made this comment to point out that it would be impossible to make this farm because it's impossible to obtain the budding amethyst, which is also true. But you could just go find an amethyst geode and remove the surrounding blocks to build it there. Anyway, on to the second comment, which is from JoeFuller3886, which states, your tick speed must have been through the roof to get it to grow that fast, which it was. And this comment from ElijahHorse5359 explains why the farm doesn't work. It takes more time for the amethyst to grow than the pistons activating every day, which Road Bad Guy also pointed out. So thank you to these three for pointing out a simple mistake that Past Me has made. So now that the most of the relevant comments are responded to, let's actually design a better amethyst farm that actually works. When it comes to amethyst farms, there are two ways of doing this. One way is to use flame machines that are a specific shape so that it can break the amethyst crystals. An example of this is Ilmango's video on amethyst farms. I recommend watching the entire video if you want to learn more by clicking the link in the description. The other way to make an amethyst farm is to use individual pistons to break the crystals. Usually, you will use a long timer circuit to activate the pistons. But this is not as efficient as breaking the crystals individually when it fully grows. So I will be making that version instead of the timer. To make the farm, we have to first understand that amethyst crystals have 4 stages of growth. We need to use an observer to detect the 4 different stages. We then connect the observer to a dropper. This dropper will contain 4 items inside. As the amethyst grows, it will move the items one by one outside. Whenever the dropper is empty, it means that the amethyst has finally grown. We can detect that and send a signal to the piston, which will break the amethyst. Next, we need to reset the machine by putting the items back into the dropper. An easy way to do this is to add a dropper in front of the initial dropper. Then, when the first dropper is empty, and we detect that, we can activate the second dropper 4 times to put the items back. And, well, that's the entire farm. But, as you can see, this machine is really big for just one side of the budding amethyst block. So I will be trying my best to compact this, and after an hour, I managed to build this version. This is a 3x3 version, which actually works. I am simulating the crystal growth by updating the observer. When 4 updates occur, the piston above activates, breaking the crystal. The droppers behind the machine has the same functionality as the droppers shown before. But an issue occurred when I tried placing 4 of these 3x3 modules around one budding amethyst block. The redstone started to interfere with the other modules, making it unreliable and broken. So I had to make another version. This version is a 2x4, so it won't interfere with the other modules, and it is pretty small. And that's it for this video. I did not make the top and bottom of the budding amethyst farmable, and I haven't explained the redstone. So if you are interested in that, comment it down below and I might make a second video just doing that. So thanks for watching and goodbye.